started right now for Financial Fun Fed Friday.
Friday.
So let's get this party started, you all.
Y'all ready?
They ready? Uh-oh. Question is, oh, what? And thank you all for joining us today. This is our smooth moment. Y'all moving? And you are welcome here to Financial Fed Friday. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your co-host, Darlene Jenkins, and my other co-host,
Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Dr. Rita B. Rowland. Yes, she does. And of course, we are being sponsored by Affordable Benefit Solutions, where we are always bringing you what's new and what's next, keeping you informed. So let's just jump right on in. This is Financial Fed Friday. For those of you who are new to the broadcast, thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Facebook. We broadcast this webinar on the first and third Friday each and every month. And guess what? We're also simultaneously on Facebook Live. So, hey, Facebook, what's up? Everybody right now, if you would do me a favor and just check in, let us know where you are tuning in from. That includes you also on Facebook. And those of you that are here live on the broadcast, just let us know where you're watching us from. And Rita, you jump in and let me know where they're checking in. And during this broadcast, what we do is we pull back the curtains so that you can get an in-depth understanding of not only your federal employee benefits, but we also provide you some of the best investment options that are out there, different strategies and other financial nuggets to help you reach your financial destination. If you would like to join us live here on the broadcast, excuse me, if you would like to join us here live on the broadcast, you can register at ritabrolandevents.com. Of course, if you're on Facebook, go there, like us at Your AB Solutions, and you can always go back and watch us on YouTube. Look for us under Financial Fed Friday. So please, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you can keep abreast of all of our videos that we post. Rita, where are we checking?
People checking in from Delaware. We got the panhandles of Florida. We got Fort Washington. We got Oxon Hill. We got DC. We got Suitland. So they're coming in from the DMV and all over the East Coast.
All right. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you all so much for joining us. And just the whole purpose for you being here, for us doing this Financial Fed Friday series, is number one, to help you understand the benefits that you have through your employer. But not only that, also just understanding money and your money personality, which determines your spending habits. And then, of course, your Financial Fed Friday team, we are here to offer support and solutions that are going to enable you to reach your financial destination. So before we jump into this material, I just want to say that what we're going to be going over today is going to be generic in approach, okay? And the reason we do this, the reason we keep it very generic during Financial Fed Friday is because a lot of you are on here, as Rita just said, you are checking in from everywhere. Without individual knowledge of your particular situation, we can't design this to fit your particular needs. But what we will do is if you contact us at 301-577-6340, anything that you see on here today, if something strikes a nerve with you, we will customize all of this information and create a plan specifically for you and your family. So please accept this information as generic in approach. and apply it where you feel it will fit your particular situation. So thank you so much for understanding. And Rita, we're going to get this party started. So this year's theme is getting fiscally with our money fit, getting fiscally fit. Because every year, I don't know about you all, but I always, somewhere on my list is to get physically fit. And then that drops off. But this year, we are staying on track for getting our money in shape. Right, you all? Right, Rita?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. And so we are in the fourth quarter and we are still checking in. So we want to look at where are we? What factors may potentially impact our finances? And more importantly, we are giving you more things to consider as you move forward towards the end of the year and then into next year. So, Rita, this is Long-Term Care Awareness Month. What are we going over today?
I'm going to really talk to you today about really like what is long-term care, the impact of it, the cost of it. And I think is one of the things, Darlene, when we think about retirement planning, when we plan, we look at that as an aspect of your retirement because many people don't understand the importance of long-term care and how it can truly impact their finances in retirement. And I know you're going to share your story today. And I first want to just say before you even get started, thank you very much for wanting to be vulnerable today. I know it's probably, even though it's been a couple years, it's still nice and raw on the inside from a loss, but to tell your story today, you may just help someone else. And so if we could just keep going, just so that people can really understand that it's a real conversation about your long-term care and the needs change. And so when you're 20 and 30, some needs are just about growing your money, starting a family, looking at college education. But when we get to this latter part of our life, the peak earning in the pre-retirement year, somewhere about 45 to 55, we have this shift about we're looking at that end time. And so we're looking at what's important for us, guaranteed income, Social Security, and what long-term care. Because at that stage, Darlene, is around the stage when you have to deal with it. Many of us have a parent or grandparent who's in this long-term care stage age. In the early retirement year, somewhere about 55 to 70, you're in that stage where you're wanting your income, you're starting to receive your Social Security. Long-term care becomes even more challenging because as we get older, Darlene, we were just talking about this the other day, how, you went to bed and you wake up, it's like, why does knee hurting? Like the body just don't do what it used to do. And it just be hurting sometimes for no reason. Like, why does fingers swollen? Like what's really going on in Medicare? But even in our later retirement years, so there's a theme here, whether it's peak earning, early retirement, or later, long-term care is a very important topic that people are starting to really wake up. They haven't really, I think, what's the word? Jumped into it all hands and really want to move forward in it. But I think they're having an awareness. And so what we want you to do today is not just become aware, because it's long-term care awareness month. But what I'm learning, that awareness is just not enough. There has to be some action behind the awareness. So we want to just give you some information to help you understand. So the first thing is truly just to really know what is long-term care. And I think the thing that people don't always understand is what is long-term care. And so
go on to the next slide. Just emphasize right here because as our clients that we deal with at Affordable Benefit Solutions, we go through these phases of retirement. And as Rita just pointed out, long-term care figures prominently in each phase. And what most people don't realize is that this is actually the missing link in your financial plan. And as we go through, we're going to get into that. And the older you get, it becomes more prominent. And that's why you see it in each of the retirement phases. So this is the missing link. But as Rita said, what is long-term care, Rita?
So just understanding what long-term care is very important. So my first experience with this was when my grandmother, she lived down south. She got to a point she had crippling arthritis and she had to come live with us. And for about a year, was it about a year, Darlene? We actually took care of her. And we had to change between my mom, my aunt mom, and then my other aunt, and taking care of her at home because we didn't want to put her in a home because we had already moved her from her comfortable place down south to the city, and that was a culture shock for her already. And then eventually, though, we had to put her in a long-term care facility. And so when you think of long-term care, it's two things. One is severe cognitive impairment, which means you lost your memory. Everybody knows somebody that has, dementia, Alzheimer, like they can't remember, their orientation is all, they're not sure where they are, they walk out the house. So we all experience it, and Darlene is experiencing that right now as well. And my grandmother had this, but she was more of a calm one. She just kind of sat in the chair all day. But then there's the other part that most people are kind of aware of, where you unable to perform two out of what they call the acts of daily living. So you can't bathe yourself. You can't dress yourself, your hands, you can't even button your shirt. You can't get on and off the toilet stool without having some assistance. Eating is a challenge. So my grandmother's hands were like this. And so even just holding a fork or a spoon was not touched. She couldn't button herself up. Guess what? Transferring to and from the bed. So you need help to get in the bed, help to get out the bed, sitting in a wheelchair, incontinence. And so you need an adult diaper. And so understanding what could possibly be, what is long-term care, and understanding, y'all, when we talk about these statistics, they're very real. And all of us have probably seen someone who has had it, whether it was your mother, your husband, your wife, a sister, a brother. But I think we just still so kind of new to it, Darlene. People are new to it. They see it, they understand it, but they're kind of still numb to it because it's still a solution. It's something that we may have to pay for to get the help. And what I always tell people, you either pay one way or you pay another, and you got to determine which cost is the most effective cost for you. And so I think we just need to understand what does long-term care look like and why is that important.
Exactly. Here is going to retirement is going to increase your need for income substantially. And I'll get more into that as I talk.
The doctor, I'm going to need you when you start speaking. I feel like you're a little, I don't know if you can increase your volume, but you seem a little choppy to me. And so why should you plan for long-term care? And I think this is the part that most people don't understand, because when we think of long-term care, we're just thinking another plan for insurance, right? It's like our health care, but truly long-term care is a little different, because what it does, it avoids dependency on the government program and limits your care. So my stepmom has a friend who lived in North Carolina, the Fairfax, the Roanoke Rapids area. She went to high school with him. He had to have long-term care, but because he didn't have a plan, he didn't have money, the Medicaid put him where they wanted him to go. So they put him into a facility in Waverly, Virginia. So like an hour and a half away from the few little people who would come see him. No, he said that when my stepmother stopped, because my family's from that area, when she went to go see my family, she stopped by. He said nobody had come to see him in almost 7 months. But when you don't have a plan, you become somebody else's plan, and how they care about you may not be how you want to be cared for, because you're leaving your care up to the government, who is already taxed. So you're not just as important, because there's a bunch of numbers that they're trying to fulfill. And protecting a surviving spouse from financial impoverishment. Now, Darlene's story, as I told you, I'm prepping her so I can let her breathe some. So I'm going to tell you some of her stories so it doesn't become too overwhelming for her. But it wasn't just a spousal financial impoverishment. Darlene's mother, you'll hear her story, not only impoverished herself and her husband maybe, but she truly impoverished her daughter because she didn't have a plan. And you'll see that her daughter became a plan. And it is one thing to deal with a sick person. That is emotional enough. But to have the financial burden on top of it. So as much as Darlene was caring for her mother and loving her mother, like when I say she's taught me how to be a better daughter, she has taught me how to be a better daughter and a caretaker. But I also saw that she not only was dealing with that emotional part of her mother's sickness, she also had to deal with her own financial sickness, that she was torn between taking care of herself and her daughter the way she needed to, or taking care of her mother because there was no plan in place. And it's truly maintaining your independence and your options for care. Francine wanted some care. She needed the care, and how she wanted her care. If you don't have money for it, they were truly blessed. You can't be for sure that you're, and even in their blessedness, Darlene still went broke. She had a family member who took care of her mother at a major discount. That's not most people's situation. And women are primarily the impacted. Why? Not because women are the ones that need to care. Women are normally the caretakers. So not only was Darlene a woman herself and dealing with her own health challenges and trying to stay healthy, she was the caretaker. So that means her income changed, her financial future, her retirement suffered, her daughter's college education suffered. It is a major impact. And if you're trying to leave something to your heirs and you haven't planned for it, what Francine had to leave to her only child and her only granddaughter was wiped away because she needed that for her care. And so I want you guys to understand, this is not like just health insurance. You're going to get this on your job, you retire, you're going to go see the doctor. The long-term care is another animal from going to get your high blood pressure or your diabetes. It is another animal. And if you're not prepared for it, that lion, that tiger can eat you alive.
Get to where they want to go. And they will wait for you to go to sleep and make their way out of the house. And you don't want that for your loved one. So what do? You sit up with them.
And Darlene, I think this part here is so important because when you think about you as a caregiver, you may not even think about it because you did it, but you had to, and if you don't have someone like you who had a good godmother for Jordan, but you had to use your friends a lot to help. Can you take my child here? Can you do this? Because you couldn't be at both places at one time. And some people don't even have that support. And to think about, Alzheimer, like knowing that, and not just to the, like, I know I have another aunt like Virginia, like people get very violent in that stage too. Like I don't know if in their other life they were violent, like they want to stab people, they beat you, they hit you. And so to try to sleep all night and get up at 6, 7 o'clock to be at work, but you've been up to 3, 4, or you never really went to sleep because you got one eye open, one eye closed. Like, what is the health of that person? Because they didn't either have money to afford a nurse to come in and stay overnight just to be watchful, or you didn't have money for care. So I want you guys, as Darlene shared her story, it is very intimate for us to really understand the facts. Because sometimes we get the facts and, the emotional part is real, but we got to understand this impact, and you got to begin to do something for it, because the cost is going to continue to go up because they have a demand for it, which means people need it. That's the fastest growing community today. It's the 65 and older community. It's the fastest growing community. The fastest growing community. And so you gotta have a plan, because one thing we all going to do, one is die, but 72 to 75% of us gonna have a trial in between now and death. That means you're gonna go through a phase where you need long-term care. Having a plan in place for it, like you plan for your wedding, like you plan to leave, everything needs a plan. I know people get sick of planning. I feel y'all, but you're gonna have to do something.
Absolutely, you are, because the cost of care is real. In order to meet caregiving responsibilities, and this was a recent study that says we lose about $600,000 in wage wealth over our lifetime because of work sacrifices. And I'm gonna be just transparent, and then that translates into losses to the businesses because of time off. About $11 billion to $29 billion a year. Now, we at ABS, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. But when I tell you, I went through that for 2.5 years on, off. So that meant I wasn't able to be productive at Affordable Benefit Solutions. And then even after my mother had transitioned, the following year, I was still unproductive. I went through, because I was so emotionally drained, I didn't even know it. Did you hear me? I did not know I was checked out. But I was emotionally checked out, but I was showing up every day with a smile on my face, trying to work. And it wasn't until I got to the end of the year of 2019, when I was trying to reflect back on my year, that I realized I didn't remember anything about the year. I didn't know where I had celebrated Thanksgiving, what happened on Mother's Day. I knew I had a birthday, but like, what was I doing? I had to ask people. And that's when I realized I have been checked out. And that's when I had to start going through the healing process of really dealing with the real cost of caregiving.
Because it's not cheap. So I'm gonna tell you something. I've been paying for long-term care for my mother for 14 years, my aunt mother. Is it a sacrifice out of my pocket? I could be using it for my retirement, enjoying myself, but I'd rather pay a little bit per month than when she needs the care, that I have a plan in place that can pay that $6,000, $8,000 a month, or come and help some kind of way. Even if I'm bringing 4 or 5 grand to the table with her plan, I am able to assist. And so having a traditional plan is important. And I thought about long-term care for me because in 2007, I had a torn rotator cuff. And I tried and my sister was there for a week, and she did her thing. And I was trying to use this other arm to take care of me, because this arm, and after a while, this arm became so tired and numb, I could barely lift it. So here I am in my early 40s. I think I was like 41. And I couldn't take care of I couldn't keep myself clean. I needed help. And I called my niece over to wash me up. And she got over there and said, Rita, I just can't do it. And I remember telling Darlene, like, as soon as I get finished with this, I'm getting long-term care, because if she can't wash me when I'm tight and right then, I had muscles, my body was tight. But imagine when she got to lift up her stomach, move something out the side. If she couldn't wash, I was like, I have to get long-term care. So having a traditional policy, and we can design it. I think the issue, Darlene, most people say it's too expensive because Americans want a Rolls Royce at all times. Maybe you can't afford the Rolls Royce plan, but you can afford the Ford Focus plan, because it's better to have something in place when you need it than to have nothing. The other one is, and to think about long-term care, you got to think about maybe the traditional one that we just talked about isn't your option, but using a hybrid plan for long-term care, or rider, which means you can actually put things in place, means that you can use life insurance. So life insurance today is not your grandma insurance when a man come by, you give him some money just for death. We have plans, and we're going to have a partner that come on next Fed Friday to talk about how do we use some of these hybrid plans that you can have life insurance and long-term care in it. You can have different type of annuities that pay you double income in the event that you need. So let's say you have an annuity and you're getting income, but now you can't perform 2 out of 6. Let's say your income is $2 grand a month. It pays you $4 grand a month for a certain period of time to help you cover your care. And we also have some supplemental plan, and that's what we talk about, our link plan. So we have a plan called Critical Cash. What it does, it pays you a certain amount of cash in the event that you have a critical illness. And what it says is that 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will develop cancer in their lifetime, and 68% of cancer diagnoses are expected to survive over 5 years. Now, cancer is expensive. I've had clients, Darlene, that said pills, her prescription were $800 to $1 grand a month, and they were government employees. So having a plan or having a supplemental plan. So I also have supplemental plans for me and my husband. Cancer is real. I'm not claiming it. I don't think I'm going to get it. But I'm being realistic that both of my parents died from cancer. My mother at 34 and my father at 68. So she had colon cancer. My father had lymphoma, leukemia, and Wallstrom. He had 3 different types of cancer. And so we have a plan to take care of you for a stroke. I just had a family member who had a stroke about a couple months ago, and she was just 59 years old and did not have a plan in place. Heart attack. So we have plans that maybe you don't want a full plan, but you want something in the event that you have a critical illness, a chronic illness, that you have something in place to help you take care of it. So please reach out to us and let us help you develop a plan that's right for you. Not everybody is different. Some of you have multiple streams of income, and you may not need as a larger plan as someone else because maybe you can use one or two streams of your income to support. But some people, you need all of that income to take care of you to live. And if you marry, if you take that income out the house, can your spouse afford to live? So when we sit down with you, we're not planning for just you. We're looking at your entire picture and figuring out what is the best plan for you. But the best plan is the one when you transfer the risk to someone else. What does that look like? It's like your health insurance. You don't want to be sick, but you pay that health care every pay period or every month because should you need a surgery that costs $30,000, you don't want to transfer the risk out your pocket. You want Blue Cross, Kaiser, Aetna to pay for it. You want Allstate, you want Geico to pay for that car accident. This is the same. You want someone else to help you share in the cost of taking care of the old you. So look in the mirror and determine. You don't know if you're in that 72%. That's what we have to deal with. And so maybe looking at a hybrid plan that's going to give you maybe not just long-term care, but give you income, give you life insurance. There's some other things that we can do. So reach out to us and Darlene's going to show you how to do that in a minute.
Yes, yes. It's not that we're out of content, but we are out of time, and we appreciate you for hanging in here with us. And we just, want to let you know that this planning is just bringing the future into the present, looking out there to see what you're going to need and bringing it back here now so that you can do something about it. And of course, here at Affordable Benefit Solutions, we are a full service financial solutions firm, and we can help you in every aspect of your financial planning, from retirement planning, estate planning. I've gotten into that, how to most tax efficiently transfer your assets, the things you have accumulated, to your family members without going through probate. As I said, retirement planning, teaching you about tax-free retirement, how to be your own banker, insurance services. We've gone over long-term care today, disability insurance, that's your paycheck protection. And of course, our life insurance. Next week, when we have our special guest on, she's going to show us how to combine the two things we need the most, life insurance and long-term care, to get a double bang for your buck. And of course, helping you get your credit and debt together. So what's going to be right for you? We don't know. Everyone is different, so it's going to depend. So contact us today so that we can help you map out a strategy to put all of these pieces together. And here we are at Affordable Benefit Solutions. We're located at 9500 Medical Center Drive. That's our office right there, with us waving out the window. So book your appointment today so that you can have peace of mind. Call us, book the appointment. Go to our website, www.yourabsolutionsinc, and fill out a request form. It'll come to us and we'll get right back to you. So that's it for today. This is the real thing. It got real today.
It's the real thing though.
Yes, it's the real thing.
You're welcome, Paulette.
This is our office address. You can email us at fff@yourabsolutionsinc. Give us a call in the office, 301-577-6340. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging in here with us, for hanging in here with me today. We look forward to seeing you on the third Friday of this month.